Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, start. I'm back to do a couple more videos. It's been a little while and just want to do a health update on me. The last videos I talked about my cancer situation, and I have a very serious cancer situation with the bones in my. I had cancer in my kidney and it metastasized to my bones throughout my body. And I almost died in 2019, and I started doing these videos in 2020 when I was feeling a little bit better. Maybe it was 21, can't remember. Anyhow, it's 2023 spring, and I'm feeling better. By the grace of God, the immunotherapy that I'm on is working, and I feel like I've got a second chance at life here. So gratitude is immense. Thanks be to God. And just wanted to update you on that. It appears to be in remission at the moment. And I'm doing better than I ever would have dreamed. And it truly is a miracle. So what I wanted to talk about today is my first thing is starting tomato plants. It's spring in Wisconsin. We are zone, what are we now? 4? Not sure. Spring in Wisconsin. It's March 21st, 20th, 21st. And we're doing getting plants ready. I know they might be ready a little early, but I know they're, with that said, I have a new greenhouse set up outside that I can put them outside and hold them for a little while longer than I used to be able to. These are going to start here, and then I'll go out to my greenhouse thing and then out to the garden. So anyhow, here's where we go. I use this Miracle Grow potting mix because I think that it actually has a lot of stuff in it. It's got organic material in it. You'll see there's like chunks of wood, chunks of bark, mulch. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. And I fill these solo cups, red solo cups, almost to the top, and then pat them down a little bit. Kind of scatter it in here. I did a lot of experiments with the size of cups. I used the full-size solo cups. I've used these kind of 4-inch pots. I used yogurt cups. Old yogurt cups work really well. But for whatever reason, this size solo cup seems to work the best. And I write the type of, the variety I write on the solo cup. This is Galahad. So that way I remember what I have. Galahad is, I've tried a lot of tomatoes, and my actual favorite tomato ever is probably chocolate cherry tomato, but I've tried a lot of different ones. In Wisconsin, Galahad seems to work really good. It's a determinate, which means it's a more compact plant. It produces its fruit all at once, pretty much, so that there's not like an interdeterminate where it's continuing to bloom and continuing to fruit for a long, long period of time. These kind of come all at once. So it's easier to harvest. My garden is not like in my backyard. It's about 2 miles away at a community garden. So for me, this seems to be a good one to work with. I use them fresh. I freeze them. I can them. So we do a whole bunch of things with those tomatoes. And I actually had some in chili last night that I froze from last year. And I just, sometimes I boil them, peel the skin off, and then put them in Ziploc bags and freeze them. Other times, sometimes I don't even do that. I'll just put if I'm in a hurry and have a lot to do and don't have a lot of time, I'll just freeze tomatoes. Like I'll put whole tomatoes right in a Ziploc bag and freeze them, and that actually works pretty darn good. I want to get this to move this along here. So we got these are pretty full. Tamp them down. And then I'm going to get them wet with water that I have let sit for a couple days so it doesn't have the chlorine in that they put in the water. The chlorine evaporates if you let it sit for a couple days. So then what I do is I grab a different tray and I use these trays. They are solid trays. There's no holes in them, so that when you put water in them, the water stays in here. So this is about a full tray to do today. All Galahad tomatoes. I'm going to be growing Cherokee purple tomato. I love that one. I'm going to be growing chocolate cherry, which is my all-time favorite tomato. And chocolate cherry is a good one to give to friends all the time because even people that don't like tomatoes like chocolate cherry tomatoes. That's my all-time favorite tomato for eating fresh. So here, we got that going. Put this on here. And then I got this at like Home Goods. It's like the perfect speed for pouring water and not making a huge mess. Sometimes I'll get these wet the day before so that they're damp already and ready to accept seed. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to do it like this. This pot is important because it lets the water out at a speed that doesn't blast your seeds right out of the dirt. I've had some that it comes out too fast and it makes a mess. It not only makes a mess, it knocks the seeds right out of their little nest. So then I seed these with Galahad seeds. I'll take like a Sharpie marker and poke a hole in the middle of each, and I'll put 2 seeds in each hole. And sometimes I let 2 seeds grow and I have a double plant, and other times I'm not sure which works better. So most of the time I leave it as 1, but sometimes I'll have it as 2. So these are nice and damp. And then I just take a Sharpie marker and I do a little divot. Put 2 seeds in each hole. That's the Cherokee or the Galahad. These are organically grown tomatoes, but they're seeds, but they're a hybrid. I have to admit that, but I call them my Monsanto tomatoes. But sometimes you got to make choices. I love heirloom more than anything, but boy, these things really grow. So put 2 seeds in each one. 1, 2. 1, 2. Oops, there's 3. Sometimes if you drop too many in, I don't want to waste the seeds. You can use a tweezer to get it out. One, 2. 1, 2. I bought these seeds through Johnny Seeds, I think. Can't remember. No, Harris Seeds. But like I say, I've tried a lot of different varieties, and this seems to work the best. So here, I just want to talk about the setup then. I put these onto a heat mat. It's by It's the Fairy Morse seeding mat, and that gets the seeds to the right temperature to germinate. And then I put a cover over them to keep the moisture in until they start to sprout. Once they start to sprout, I take the cover off, or no, let them on for a little while. Once they get too big to fit under the cover anymore, I'll, so there's two, there's, I had a couple that have three. Yep, there we go. We're all good here. So then I pat them down a little bit. That's all I do. Red Solo Cup. Pat them down. Solo Cup seems to hold the moisture in nice once you bring them outside. Let them get acclimated to the sun. It keeps them nice and moist. So then I put the cover on. And then I go over here. I've got the Fairy Morse seeding mat, and I've got a grow light. And I'll set them there, but I'll also put a date on there. So I use like masking tape, and I try to keep a track of everything. So today is 3/20/23. This way I keep track of when they got planted, how long it takes them to germinate, and that way I can keep track of it for next year. So I let them sit there until they sprout. Don't laugh at my setup here. I'm sure it's not electrical code, but all of these lights are on a timer. The heat mats are not on a timer, they just stay on. But something about leaving for me, I don't know, some people leave the lights on all the time. I have them on a timer. I just have a problem with leaving lights on 24 hours a day for weeks on end. Give the lights a little break so they shut off for about 5 or 6 hours at night, and then they come back on in the morning. Try to keep the light as close as you can to the top, and that keeps the plants from getting long and leggy. So there's trying to look at my note here. Yeah, I think I covered everything. So anyhow, I'm doing better. Thanks be to God. It's an amazing journey it's been. Oof, pretty rough. But I'm still here. Thank you. Take care.